So hello guys, welcome back once again in the another video of React Native. So in my previous videos we have already discussed what is a component and why component is important in the React Native. So component is reusable and we can use one component inside the another component because React Native is a superset of the React.js and the whole library of the React.js we use in the React Native. So we can reuse all the features of the React.js in the React Native because React Native is the combination of the React.js plus native components. Actually in the React.js we use the two type of component. One is the functional component and another is the class component. So in the same way, because React Native is the superset of the React.js, so here we can also use the both component, functional component as well as the class component. So in this lecture we will implement both type of component in the React Native. Suppose this is a functional component we are using here in the app.js, and here I am just displaying a message, a functional component. And if you want to check this message on the simulator and the emulator, so our screen is looking like this. So functional component message is displaying in the both screens, emulator and in the simulator. So if I want to display this message in the class component, so in the class component we use render method, and inside the render we will return we want to display anything. Suppose I am commenting this functional component here, and here we will use the class components. So first of all, here we will use the keyword class, and here the name of the class we will use the app, and here use the extend, and here superset as a component we will use. So here we are creating a class type component, so its app is the child of the component here, and here we will use a one extra thing in the class component is the render actually a method, and inside the render we will return anything you want to display. Suppose I want to display the same message here, so the same return statement we can copy here and we can paste here, and I'm just uncommenting this here. So this is a class component. In here we can use a name class component, and just I save it and check on the simulator and the emulator, so a same message is displaying in the both screen. So another question is that can we use the functional component inside the class component and class component inside the functional component? So answer is the yes, we can definitely we can use the functional component inside the class component and class component inside the functional component. Suppose I will also implement this with an example. Suppose I am using here a two classes. This is a function component. So I am removing here a class component code, and name here is the app function component, and here the name is the functional component, and the another class name we just use here a class component, and I am removing here the function component code. So this is the class component, and here we will use the name, and here we just export the name app class component. So this is the class component, and here we are using a class component. So first of all we just import the both component here. I am just save this, and here I am import app class component. So by default it will pick the whole path of the app component, and here we just import function component, and both component we will use inside a class component. Like this we can use the component. So one is the class component and another is the function component. So upper side we are taking function component, and in the bottom side I'm using the class component. Just save it and check in the emulator and the simulator. So in the both screen, so both message is displaying. So in the top side we are using the function component, and in the bottom side we are using the class component. So can we use in the function component? Yes, definitely we can use. Suppose I am just commenting here the class component, and here I am just using a functional component, and inside the functional component I am using a functional component and the class component. So just I am save this, and you will notice here the both message is displaying in the same way as it was displaying in the class component. So now we are using here a functional component, and inside the functional component we are using functional and the class component both. And we have already used in the class component the both type of component we can use in the class component as well. So like this we can use both type of component in the React Native, and we can use both type of component one inside the other. So I hope this video is very helpful for understanding the functional and the class component in the React Native. So if you have any doubt, any query regarding to the functional and the class component, so please let me know in the comment section. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.